Okay. Hello from London. Okay, that's going to get old really fast. But you can't deny it's a little fun. Me and Robbie have been doing it the whole time we're here. Eh, and we'll scream it in the streets. I can't tell if we pass or not. I think I go a little too slow. I got an IV. Okay, I'm done. I don't know. Oh, I set designed. I'm a set designer now, and by set design, I mean I placed this lovely orange bag and these hot Cheetos in my martini. Yes, 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 yes. I'm a woman of I wear many hats. Okay, enough. Let me look. We're in London. Robbie's been performing at Soho, and this is her last night. She did 6 nights in a row, an hour. She brought her friend Rachie Time, legal first and last name, from the Too Far Pod, and they've been crushing. No, they have been doing really good. It feels sold out every night, and the crowd is pretty fun. I feel like maybe people from the UK are a little bit more reserved. So when Robbie tries to like heckle them or pick on them or tell them that they're cum load, they think it's funny, but not like outwardly, like us stupid Americans. They get quite red in the face. It's very entertaining. But we've been here for a week now. Oh my God. So it's been quite the adjustment. Honestly, kind of so much has happened, but it's been really fun. I love traveling with her. I was kind of nervous to come because I have been dealing a little bit like with my mood being unstable. That's a new development from my psychiatrist, which psychiatrist sounds like a scary word, but it's like we all have mental health shit going on. Let's be honest. We don't have to shy away from it. And they're just like a very certified person that's equipped for the job, honestly, because I was like going to my PCP. Hey, can I try a little Lexapro? Everyone's on it. Made me have a panic attack. So it's like I actually don't know what to ask for. I have some anxiety and depression given how I grew up. It's honestly not that bad, truly. And I had to come out with something. Nobody makes that alive. And I feel like we all have prehistoric brains, like dino brains, that aren't ready for how busy and complicated lives are today. So, not that I think it's like there was this thing about overprescribing, a couple years ago. Do I think some things are overprescribed? Definitely. Fentanyl, benzos, things that are highly addictive. Antidepressants aren't addictive at all. I don't think anyone wants to be on them. I feel like most people fight it actually, instead of just embracing it with open arms. Naturally, you don't. It's like the stigma that comes with the diagnosis already, and then the medication. I didn't know this is where this episode was gonna go, but whatever. Here we are. Yeah, because even I'd say like maybe 5-6 years ago, like I didn't know if any of my friends were on anti-anxiety antidepressants, so I was kind of ashamed to take them, even though I was like had debilitating anxiety. You guys wouldn't believe it really manifested in social anxiety. I just thought everyone hated me the second I left the house. I feel like they were judging me. I would immediately ruin the situation. I had like a compulsive fear of blushing, which is actually so crazy. And I haven't told a lot of people, but I know it's out there because I've done so much research to the point where I wanted to get my vagus nerve cut off, but then I wouldn't like feel any other excitement. Anyways, I know it was just like kind of a manifestation. It wasn't actually like, oh, I'm afraid of my face turning red, because it is actually pretty endearing. But yeah, and it would at the craziest, weirdest times, and I felt like I couldn't control it. But it was just my anxiety manifesting like it does. I For a little catch up, for those who didn't watch me on The Bachelor, shame on you, where I talked about all my trauma for the first time. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care if you watched. I'm not ashamed. I'm not proud. I'm not ashamed of my time there. But my mom was emotionally, sometimes physically abusive, and like what I said then, and I still think now, is that she really did the best she could. She went through a lot as a child, so I don't think she ever chose to treat me like that. I really believe she couldn't control it, and she really did do the best she could with what she was given. It's like Noah Khan, you guys know I love him. It's like I'm still mad at my parents for what their parents did to them, or something along those lines. And it's so true, especially that lost generation. They just had no resources for mental health and stuff like that. So it's not like I'm mad at her, or like I hate her or anything. In fact, I still really, really love her. Love her. But it's hard to have a relationship. Anyways, so I was afraid to come because I was just put on a different medication, and then travel and time change and stuff like that can really affect it. But honestly, it's just been so great. I love exploring new places with Robbie. We have so much fun together. We had like a great shopping day. This, not me free advertising, but it is a gorgeous bag, and it's a really posh shop, okay? So, whatever, a not so humble brag, and it was like the only thing really worth putting in the shot. We'll get to Annie's Ibiza in a second, but yeah, no, we've just had a great time. We've been fucking around, being romantic, talking in English accents. We've had the best food. We've ran into a lot of people from Bachelor Nation. Shout out. Thanks for saying hi. And Robbie's been just like doing her shows. She's doing a whole hour. So it's been like a lot of fun and productive. So I'm okay. Well, okay, I guess I always just like, I don't know. Initially, we got this B&B that looked so fucking sick from the pictures. But like everything really, anything with B&B, which I do think I'm hearing about the takedown, and I hope it's true and I hope it's real. One time they charged me like $50 for a white towel I use to take off my makeup. First of all, it's sexist. Girls wear makeup because men think they should be pretty. And I still abide by that rule. And probably a man invented B&B, and now I'm being charged. First, people who are afraid of white towels and makeup, you just put some bleach on them. Same thing with spray tans. It's like, you make me do this and then you charge me for it. And the pictures the actual B&B is never like the pictures. They charge you for everything. So our B&B was just exactly that. It was nothing even close to the pictures. There was no outlets anywhere. I was doing my hair in the reflection of the oven in the kitchen. I've probably done worse, but for the amount that we were paying, it just wasn't acceptable. The bed was in the floor, mind you. That was something that drew us to the B&B. I will say, but I just had to put it in there. It's like Japanese style. I had a nurse come give me an IV the first day that we got there, which is a really good decision for jet lag, I will say. I got NAD, and it's something else that I've never heard of. It's probably only legal in the UK, and I love exclusivity. I love getting things in only a certain place that you can't get anywhere else. It just like gets me so excited. I had a great nurse, shout out, and it made me feel like $1,000,000. I feel like we'll get into NAD later. The Biebers do it. We'll also get into Hailey Bieber later. I feel like she's gaslit us into the clean girl look, and I think she's basic as hell. Robbie thinks she's the most beautiful woman on the planet, so maybe that's where a lot of my disdain comes from. It's really hard to say. But yeah, also about the B&B is there was literally nowhere to get ready. There was this tiny circular mirror covered in seashells with hot glue. No shade. Sounds like shade. But there was nowhere to stand for it. There was a huge mirror kind of circling the bathroom with this beautiful blue tile. But in order to get to the big mirror, you had to stand on the bathtub because the bathtub was also in the ground. So you literally had to get ready with your toes clutching the side of the bathtub, hanging on for their dear life. I didn't try, but Robbie did. She's also oddly talented with the dexterity of her toes, so I really trusted her with that. But anyways, not really comfortable, not like the pictures. We're still fighting with them to hopefully get our money back. They were like, well, it's not uninhabitable. I'm like, that's the bar. That's how low you'll go. You want your luxury B&B to be a step above uninhabitable. It's honestly so crazy, but this is just how low B&B is going. To make a buck. Capitalism, which Robbie and I are talking about a lot these days. The dairy industry apparently is all capitalism. Breakfast was like invented with milk. Nobody consumed this much dairy. And now we're supposed to have 3 meals a day starting with 2%. And it's like because of the dairy industry, because they just want to make money. I would say B&B is similar. They draw similar parallels. They just want you to spend their money on something you don't need. And that's not meeting the lowest of expectations for habitability. And they're going to take an extraordinary price per night plus an insane cleaning fee, even though I have to take out my own trash and do my own dishes and wash my own white towel or put it in my suitcase so you don't find it. And have a creepy guy check you in. He's got all the locks. He knows where we're staying. We're lesbians. We're a Target. I'm traveling with all this stuff. Oh, I don't know, you guys. Anyway, so we left. We went to the Hoxton. If you're going to London, look no further. Everybody was like, don't stay in Soho. Don't say it. Why wouldn't we stay in Soho? It's like people who just tell you things because they don't want you to be happy. It's like they're mad if you're laughing. They just want everyone else to be miserable. So they tell you not to stay in Soho. But it's so central. There's an amazing Indian restaurant steps away. It's gorgeous inside. 20 to 30 chandeliers that could fall on your head any second. Makes the dining experience really fun. The spices. London's known for their Indian food. Robbie always says, no wonder why they went to war over spices after eating Indian food, like on cue. So it's an insane restaurant. And so you can walk anywhere. You can walk to the West End, do some shopping. That's where Annie's Ibiza was. Ibiza. Annie's Ibiza. Or Vintage Threads. Big shout out. We went shopping there. It's a great store. They have 2 of them. We've just been having ourselves a good old time and have been walking and taking the tube, and all from the central location at the Hoxton Holborn. They have an incredible lobby. Oh, my Cheetos are also prop design because maybe they'll sponsor me. And this has been the most consistent thing of the trip are these Cheetos. They followed us everywhere. We're going to go to Amsterdam tomorrow, take the train. They're going to go with us there. But yeah, look no further. there's a great lobby here. It's always hustling and bustling. It's open late. It's very romantic. Robbie and I have a nightcap every night. Kissy kissy on the couchy couchy. So yeah, that's all you need to know about that, really. Let's see. I have on my note, Robbie and I have so much fun. So lucky we love each other. Makes everything better. It is true because sometimes I feel like during travel, like traveling with a partner that you're not totally in love with, it makes you feel more alone and it makes you homesick. And that's the worst feeling when you're like a 12-hour flight away and all you want to do is crawl into bed. But having a partner that you really love, they just always feel like home. So I feel like traveling, that's why traveling is so much fun. And like I think we're just now getting to this point. We've almost been dating a year, you know that. We've taken a couple trips before and we've each had some of the homesick being lonely feeling. We went to Montauk shortly after I came out on The View, shout out, to celebrate, and it was just kind of a disaster, but we were still getting to know each other. We made up and went boogie boarding on the East Coast, which there's just nothing like East Coast water and East Coast winter, so that was a cure-all. But yeah, no, it's been really nice traveling with her. I just love her, and I love experiencing new things with her. I think that's the best part is that she has to travel a lot for work, so it's really fun to have an excuse, and we just get to make new memories together, like kind of like find things, you know. So then when you look at them, we're like, oh my god, we got this in London. Oh my god, we got this in Toronto. Our Toronto trip wasn't the best either, but looking back, everything's better in retrospect. It's a defense mechanism of our brain to keep us from committing homicide or the other way around. So I'm here for that. So we went shopping. We got a couple really great recommendations, and I went to this place, Annie's Ibiza. And it was like Robbie got a recommendation from one of her friends. She was like, oh my god, you have to go here. Gabby has to go here. And I'm like, oh, perfect. I'm used to like, it's like a designer vintage shop, and I feel like it's like, you know, I understand like obviously a little bit of a splurge, but I feel like any piece is from like 100 to like 200, 250 max. I feel like that's good for me. That's a comfortable place for me to spend on items of clothing. I feel like designer vintage is an investment because you can probably sell it for as much as you bought it for if you really wanted. And the 90s are back, baby. Vintage Dolce & Gabbana. That's what I'm wearing right now, the corset. I got it off Grailed. So, and it's just kind of fun because it's like a treasure hunt. You can't really plan what you're going to look for, and I think it helps you curate your style and really learn what you like with just like fun pieces. Because it's like honestly how much I'd spend on at Revolve on a piece, sometimes even more. Like sometimes their pants, faux leather pants, are like 250, 300. It's like for what? They don't fit. You know, some Revolve pieces I really do like, but they'll rip at the seams. One time I was literally on The Bachelor, we were filming, and I had a pair of Revolve leathers on, faux leathers, pleathers, ripped right at the ass seam. At that point, I just didn't give a fuck about anything because I was in the bubble, but I'm like, damn, these pants were expensive to be acting like this. So I feel like it's, you know, it's like if you're going to be spending this much money on like Revolve or other kind of sites that we know, then it's like girl math for designer vintage. Anyways, we were sent to this store, Annie's. I walk in, it reminds me of this place in LA, Aldrada. I don't know, it's some other designer vintage. Everything's way out of budget. I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I can spend here. Normally I'm comfortable with like going in and going out. But the staff at Annie's is nothing short of mesmerizing. for a couple reasons. They're all like hot young girls with accents who call you love. What can I get you, love? Oh, let me know if you need help with the zip. I'm just right here if you need anything sometimes. They're very hard to get into. Great customer service. You're going to help me with a zip in that accent? You bet your ass I'm going to try something on. And I hope it's challenging for both of our sakes. Anyways, I was still coming off the jet lag. I was like feeling myself. I was shopping in London. I think the sun came out for the first time in like 3 days. And I'm like, okay, maybe there's a reason why I'm here at Annie's Ibiza. So I was looking. And I'm like, to be honest, I don't know if any of these are in my price range, but they're so beautiful. I'm just going to look around. I kind of want to set them up for success first. Like, you know, I'm a fake and a phony, and I just like somebody just sent me here, and already I see that I'm overwhelmed because I see these beaded dresses and I know the beads. I know the beads per bead is like too much that I want to spend. So I was looking, I saw, they're like, what's your budget? And I'm like, okay, 400. Lies, I said 500 because I didn't totally want to embarrass myself. And I'm like, this can be my one splurge of the trip. I came here expecting to kind of splurge. I was hoping to get a vintage designer Gucci. Can't find one. So I was like, okay, this is meant to be, like, I always just let myself not get carried away, but like say in the moment, allow for changes. So, you know, I'm like, okay, maybe. And there are these like gorgeous 90s slip dress that make you feel like $1,000,000, like Giselle, you know, with Leo on the red carpet. They're like, we just got these in and they've been going so fast and they would look gorgeous on you. And I was like, oh, fuck. So I tried to. Okay, also one more thing that was it's like all of the employees, for being a designer vintage shop, all of the employees were wearing the same thing, which is like this like scoop neck, flowy lace kind of corseted shirt, long sleeve lace that you can like put under a dress of some sort that also has the corset and like straps. So it's like giving very like Dutch, like what's that other? Yeah, it's like a beer competition, you know, the Dutch girls, the German girls, and Oktoberfest. It's giving Oktoberfest. And so I was like, why is everyone matching? And obviously I have to call it out. I'm like, oh my God, you girls look so cute in your matching outfits. I went back. You'll know why in a second. And I'm like, Annie's Ibiza, are we running a cult here? Why is everybody wearing the same thing in 2024? What about freedom of expression and what we wear? So there's that, but everyone seemed pretty happy to be there. But I'm like, can you guys afford any of these things? How much of a discount do you get? How much are you getting paid per hour? But it's like they probably just treat their employees way better here. So I was on to them. And then they were like bringing me all these dresses to try on. They see my little Fendi baguette, which is also splurge after I like got my first big lump sum. It's really, you know, one of my only designer bags. I've had it for like 6 months, haven't gotten a new one. They're like, oh, I see the Fendi baguette. We're going to harass this girl, make her feel really special, like she's the only love in the whole world, and have her buy a dress. So I did feel a little coerced in the best way. I was weak. I was on vacation. Anyways, I tried on these 90s slip dresses that where it was just like the boob was falling out just enough so you had like a beautiful silhouette of the side boob. And like there was no mirror inside because I think they want you to step outside so they can like look at you and flock like a seagull. It's like a part of their marketing tactic. It really works. And then they had like brought me a corset, and they're like, we love to also put a corset over the dress, more money, change the look. This is signature special to Annie Ibiza. This, I'm like, are you Annie? this person who brought me the corset. She was like, yes. And I'm like, okay, Annie. All right. I don't know what's going to happen next. I just wanted to stay in the dressing room, try on the dresses real quick, and get the fuck out. I don't like to spend a lot of time shopping. I hate trying on, but with vintage you have to, because who the fuck knows about their return policies? And I'm in a new country and I just can't do that. And so I'm like, I have no choice but to go out and show them. And they bring me the corset. They show me a picture and they're like, oh, you should wear it like this. It's like you can make the dress shorter if you put the corset. And I was like tucking it in. She's like, oh, no, you just tuck it into your knickers. And I was like, oh, I've left my knickers at home because I don't really wear underwear. It's a choice. Everybody can say what they want about it. Robbie's like, I don't understand how you do that. Like, I have too many secretions. Like this, like, I'm a lesbian. We've got a lot going on. Let me take a drink. And an olive. Okay, excuse me. I was hoping you wouldn't find out. I was so embarrassed, mortified. All of these beautiful women around me trying to make this perfect dress concoction into a corset, and I was like, my pussy's fully out and I don't know what to do. You guys have put me in this situation and I don't know how to get out, and there was no backing out, and I just had to commit to the bit. Why do I do this to myself? I just don't feel like underwear is comfortable. It's like another cross to bear for a woman, the thong. We have to wear tooth floss up our asshole. Mind you, the skids that get stuck, it's like not only do I have to wipe it clean, I have to take a summer's eve wipe and like roll it and clean the inside of my asshole so I'm not getting any kind of leftovers. You guys, we all poop on the thong. And no matter how hard I try, there's like always a speck still. So I'm like cleaning it off with the next time I have to go. And it's like, that can't be good. Sitting in my asshole next to my vagina. You ever heard of a yeast infection? So I think it's just safer just to keep it away, keep all of the strings away from it, let the butt cheeks protect it like the anatomy was made to do, and raw dog it. I honestly don't wear jeans that much. Sometimes I do, and I just put the seam to the side when I sit down. Put it to the side. And it's like, I'll change. I'm wearing jeans for like 4 to 6 hours a day. I got a meeting. I got to go somewhere. I'm meeting a friend. The second I get back inside, I'm changing into sweatpants, which I wash more frequently. It just doesn't bother me. I'm not a germaphobe. I'm not a pussyphobe. It's just like, I'm 33. It's just what happened. It didn't take a lot of thought. It chose me. I know a lot of people are going to be upset, and this is going to be a topic of discussion, and I'm here for it. I'm not here to choose sides. I'm just letting you know my firsthand experience, because I don't want panty lines. Also, we're supposed to be hot as fuck walking around, not looking like you have a diaper. So what are my options? Seamless? No, because that hugs in the wrong places too, and it kind of feels like you have a wedgie, and depending on the little cloth, the fabric that's supposed to collect all the juices, that gets uncomfortable, and then it's like layers on layers, not as easy to move to the side. So I just don't do it. Yeah, maybe I should think twice when I go try on clothes. A lot of times, you guys have heard me, I'm not expecting, the dress isn't actually touching the pussy. It's pretty rare. There's maybe like a 5 to 25% chance that juice is going to get, and should you be so lucky. Gabby from The Bachelor. I'm just kidding. I know, you guys. It's a joke. It's a joke. But I try on. I go quick. I go out. I'm not bending down. I'm not sitting on it. Anyways, they were like, oh, because I was trying to tuck the dress into the corset to try and avoid what they were trying to do. She had already said she tucks it into her knickers like 12 times. And I didn't have the gall to tell her about my situation. So I was like, I just have to spit it out and I have to trust it. Oh, that's all right, darling. Oh, is it? So at that point, I had to buy something. I had to spend money. I was an embarrassment to the establishment, to myself, to Robbie, to all of women everywhere. But I know I'm not the only one that it's happened to, okay? I know you're going to be mad at me, and let me tell you, I'm more mad at myself. Oh, God. I was like, I had no idea. And you know what I did next? I tried on a different dress after that one. As I was like, I don't have any underwear, somebody came down the stairs and was like, oh, that dress looks gorgeous on you. Now she knows because she had heard me decline the accusation of having came with underwear, and she was still able to tell me that I looked good in the dress. So I was like, obviously I have to buy the dress. But yeah, I went back for some more embarrassment. I tried on a different slip dress. It was gorgeous. It was just, I thought it was a little too pilgrimy up here. I loved how it like did the bosom. It made him look real big, the bosom. But it was just like a little too pilgrimy. I let them know I don't think they really liked that. But with all that being said, I do feel like I was talked into the purchase of a dress that I don't know if I'd wear. Actually, I have it right here. I could show you. Sorry for the listeners. I'll try and describe it. And it's 90s and it's vintage, and you guys just know I love the 90s. It's like a sheer blush pink long slip dress, and it just falls right off you in the most beautiful way. And there's little flamingos, just great detail. But I'm like, where am I going to wear this? Like, maybe with the corset, but the corset was 400 more euros. I'm like, Annie, you have got to be kidding me. So I was like, I don't think so. But after further thought, I'm always buying sheer things, and I can't photograph them because I'm naked and I don't have as much money or fame as Kendall Jenner, so I just can't get away with it. And I know that. I know. It's a problem when I do it. It's a class thing. The richer you are, the more you can get away with nudity in public, and it becomes chic couture fashion. At my level, I'm a disgusting slut. So they're like, maybe on vacation with a bikini underneath. And I'm like, what the fuck? Once a year? I'm going to be able to wear this thing? It was like $600. So I was thinking about it. And I was like, I don't know. There was this black dress that was calling my name, but I didn't try on because it did look too small. But we were in the area, and we're going to Joey the Bachelor's AFR. And I was like, okay, I have something to shop for. I'll just get a dress that I can at least wear on camera, get some good use out of it. So they have I'm going to return this one, but I bought the black one in case somebody else wanted it. They had my size in the back. It's really cute. It's black. It's beaded. Hopefully I'll be able to wear it a couple times. But you guys, when I say I died of embarrassment, because I had to tell the whole store against my will, given the situation I was put in, that I didn't have any panties on. Oh, God. You could have dug my grave right then and there, and I would have willingly front tucked into it with the dresses I tried on, and like, I'm dead. You can take all of the money that I have for this. It was so crazy. They were so sweet. And then I had to exchange, and I saw one of them. It's like, I didn't know if the vibes were off, but it was fine. The other dress I exchanged it more was actually more expensive a little bit, but it's like, if I'm going to spend this kind of money, I might as well get something that I know I'm going to wear. So that was Annie's Ibiza. And then Robbie has the iPhone mini, which I've been screaming about not, it honestly hasn't bothered me, but it's like her phone doesn't work as well as just the iPhone normie because nobody has the mini, which she refuses to believe. So I feel like there's a lack of tech support, there's a lack of interest, there's a lack of giving a fuck around the mini. So, but it does fit her hands really, really well. Like she kind of has smaller hands. So, like the ratio, it is the most comfortable phone for her. So I understand she's at a crossroads. But it, you can't get service here. Like we both have T-Mobile, we both have the international plan. I get a text right as I landed. Oh, you're in London. You have free calling and text messaging. Pay extra for I don't even know what, maybe 5G. She didn't get that text message, but she's supposed to. But her little phone just can't handle international services. So the day before we went shopping, she had a meeting and I couldn't contact her. And I was like, okay, well, I'm stuck here waiting on her. There's no way that she can contact me. I don't want to go too far away because what if I'm gone for too long? Plus, obviously, I want to hang out with her. So it's like then I feel like I'm waiting on her. Then the day of the shopping, she had another meeting. She's like, oh, it'll be quick, a half an hour, 3 hours later. I'm like, motherfucker, you gotta be better. You gotta text me on the Wi-Fi. Where's your T-Mobile? She's like, I swear to you, baby, I've been trying. And I did hear her on T-Mobile, and it was true. And she still doesn't have any service. But I texted her when she had Wi-Fi in her meeting. Excuse me. When she had Wi-Fi in her meeting, and she had to, take the train over to me, maybe like 20-30 minutes. And she's like, let me know where you are, I'll meet you. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to a shoe store. Nothing. And then I found a place to have lunch. Our eating schedule has been like so off, so it was like 3-4 p.m. Nobody was there, and it was a Thai restaurant, and I love Thai food. That goes back for so long. I used to work at a Thai restaurant. It's still the best Thai food I've ever had, and I got a free meal every shift. That is employee satisfaction. That is workers' rights. Homemade. And I got minimum wage on top of tips, which also reminds me of Robbie's viral clip, which she will not shut the fuck up about. We'll get back to that. But, so I texted her when I get to the Thai restaurant, and I'm like, hi, baby, just got to lunch. I'm at Thai. Surprise, surprise. She knows I love Thai food. I eat it like once a week in LA. And she's not coming. She doesn't come. I eat all the tom yum, all the noodles, drink all my tea. I start reading a book. I'm spiraling. Like, I can't believe this is happening again. I'm so sad. This is like our third or fourth day in London. We haven't spent any time together. Like, why can't she just plan ahead? And I sent her a pin. I sent her a pin, my exact location. Of the Thai food restaurant. It was like called Thai Sun or something. And finally she shows up, and she's pissed off, out of breath, sweating hot. I've been looking for this place for 40 minutes. I'm like, what do you mean? I literally dropped you a pin, which you guys, there's like, she gets like kind of, like she like short circuits kind of easy. And I know she was stressed about getting back to me because she probably could feel my resentment boiling and me being upset. So it's like not for lack of trying, but she was like, I thought the Thai restaurant was called Thai Surprise Surprise. And I was like, what? I literally dropped you a pin. She's like, no, but there's a Thai restaurant in LA called Same Thai. You know, the Thai restaurants, they're doing whatever they want to do. I've been looking for 40 minutes for Thai Surprise Surprise. And I'm like, are you actually okay? Like, and she passed the restaurant like 10 times, she said. It's the only Thai restaurant around. So that's what we were dealing with. You can't really help her, you can't really help it, and you can't really be mad at her because she honestly is always doing her best, but she was like so focused on Ty surprise surprise, and she wanted to get there so fast that she like all of her common sense went out the window. She was like, no, you've got to hear me when I tell you I was looking for Ty surprise surprise. I'm like, but it's a saying. She's like, has a great vocabulary, always has sayings, blah blah blah. I'm like, surprise surprise. She even has a joke that's like, let's bring back surprise surprise. Is so crazy. Uh um Oh yeah. Okay, so she did Subway Takes, which is like I think like a TikTok thing or some kind of a series, maybe a YouTube. They do clips on TikTok. It's like hot takes on the subway. Um and she had a take about tipping, which was really good. And he posted it, like maybe a couple, no, I think the first day we got to London, and like we were so jet lagged and stuff. And she'll play her videos on full blast right in front of me. She'll listen to her clips from her own podcast 5 to 10 times in a row right next to me while we're laying in bed. I'm like, babe, I've heard it before. It's not I don't support you. Also, I get to hear these takes in person every day. Luvia, I love, that this is happening, that you get to listen to yourself. I also get to listen to you. So she's like playing this TikTok, it had just posted, and I'm like, okay, let's go to bed. And in the morning, it's like going viral. First thing she does is play the video. And I'm like, again? And she's like, well, it's gaining a lot of traction. Like, she doesn't have TikTok on her phone, so she has to use my phone. She's like, can I see your phone to look at the comments? I'm like, yeah, of course. So I created a monster. Now it's like up to 12 million views or something. It did pop the fuck off in her own right, but she's wanting my phone like, I don't know, 4 times a day to check the comments that now aren't changing because it's like 5 days old, almost a week old, this clip, and she still wants to keep track of it, play it on loud every time. And people are like, Robbie needs to get, I'm like, you guys, if Robbie got a TikTok, I wouldn't be able to handle it because I'd be listening to the clips, and that would take it would take up our whole relationship. Her head could not fit in the hotel room. She was like, "Can you believe this?" And I'm like, "Of course." It's like her first time going viral. So I've been dealing with that. Back to that. I have another note that's like tired from jet lag in middle of the night, and she wants to talk about the Espionage Act. I'm like, you guys, literally, this is what I'm dealing with. Like, she wakes up at 100, or probably, I'm like, not recently because she's been so tired from all of her shows, but normally she will wake up ready to fucking go. That mouth is running. She's chitter chatter. I love her for it. There's never a dull moment. We have so much fun together. But it's like sometimes I just need you to shut the fuck up. She has a song that's girl, just shut the fuck up. You got a girl that can pop your shit off. You gotta know when to shut the fuck up. You got a girl. That song's about me. She's a great songwriter. It's like we're getting into a relationship. I have to learn how to set boundaries. So I'm like, zip it. This is enough. But yeah, the other day we were like jet lagged. I was so tired. It was literally 4 a.m. and she was like showing me videos, wanting to talk about the Espionage Act and like whatever. Nobody's been tried with it in like 100 years. And it's like, I get it. Like, I understand, I know this injustice is happening with the whistleblower, but can we not talk about it right now when I'm so delirious? I'm trying to sleep. I took a whole trazodone, and a glass of wine, and I just need to sleep the first couple days and like not think about injustices or espionage. but she's just always on the go, her mind, which is, it's like, a blessing and a curse, because it's one of the things that I really love about her. But it's just like maybe afternoon, like after 12, we can start having in-depth conversations. Since we've been in Europe, she only wants to talk about the Holocaust, which, really did affect the Jewish people. She especially has a lot of like generational trauma, I think. So do I, but in a different way. Obviously, my people didn't go through the Holocaust, but I think I'm experiencing my mom's trauma, because my therapist says I'm very sensitive. Literally there is a reason, but on top of that, I'm really sensitive. So it is a thing. I really believe in it. But I was getting ready the other day, and she was wanting to talk about the Holocaust, because we're going to Amsterdam. It's like everything can be flipped on the Jewish people. She's like, I want to go to the Anne Frank house. I'm like, well, you have to, it's booked out weeks, months in advance. Rachel got in when we were on Bachelor, but like Kiki, our producer handler, had to like fight tooth and nail. And she's like the most willing. Honestly, her and Robbie are a good match for each other. So they're both like kind of like Karens for good. Like they just will not give up. They won't take no for an answer. Then I think the people just get tired of putting up a fight, and then they just give in. It's actually a great tactic. I don't have it in me. I can't be around it. Robbie's like, we got to go to the Anne Frank house. I'm like, I don't think we can go. Maybe we should try and call beforehand, so we're not like wasting our time when we get there, because we're only going to Amsterdam for like a day and a half. Mind you, weed is not legal. The tree is not legal in London. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I was like, you girls in Annie's. I'm like, can you believe? I hope it's legalized for your sake sometime soon. Sometime very soon. Maybe they would drop their prices a little bit. So, got to go to Amsterdam. Get a good dose of veggies. And plus, I bet their weed is just like probably really clean, like no paranoia, because there's like no pesticides and shit. But anyways, so yeah, she's like, we have to go to the Anne Frank house. These are my people. I got to take back what's mine. This is for me. It's for nobody else. If they're going to let one person into the Anne Frank house on that day, it's going to be me. I'm like, okay, all right. Let's do it. She like wanted to take me to Manchester to see a Jewish museum of like creating the trench coat. I'm like, I love history, but like not all of our travel has to be about like the Jewish culture. She is a really good teacher, and it's interesting. But I was getting ready the other day, and I don't even know how we started talking. Oh, we were listening to like Malcolm Moore, his song, She Keeps Me Warm. She's like, did you know this song was about his sister coming out as a lesbian? And I was like, oh, no way. Like, I love it. We were listening. Then I was trying to think of this other person. Oh, I just thought of it. Atmosphere. I got to write it down. She like loves Eminem, like white rappers. That's her thing. But I couldn't think of the name. And she was like, oh, well, this guy in the Wu-Tang Clan was Jewish, and he has a song about the Holocaust. So I was like putting on my makeup, putting on my eyeliner, and she's like on full blast, blasting this YouTube music video about this guy from the Wu-Tang Clan. He's rapping about the Holocaust. I don't know. That's just like, it's like afternoon. Like maybe for a set time. We were at dinner the other day, and I had taken a long lost half of an edible that I found, and it was so great. Dopamine immediately to the brain. And I sat down and I was like, okay, I'll give you the floor. You talk about whatever you want to talk about. Go on your rants. Because it's like, how do we meet in the middle? How do we make this work? I'm like, are we having a conversation here? Because I'm not talking back. Do you want to hear about what I have to say? But I don't really know all the things that you want to talk about. It's like, I know she has to get it out. So I let her have the floor. 10 minutes in, I was like, I'm done. It comes in doses. But, it's better than sitting at dinner in silence. That's what I had with an ex. And I was like, is this going to be our future? Like, are we going to run out of things to talk about? She will never run out of things to talk about. And mind you, like, I also like enjoying the peace and quiet together. I think it's really intimate being able to just like decompress together, not feel like you have to say anything. But, at dinner when you're sitting across from each other, we just like weren't talking, me and my ex-boyfriend, and it was really sad. And I think at one point during a dinner, one of our last dinners, I just started sobbing, and all the waiters and waitresses were so freaked out. And he was like, can you not? But I'm like, we haven't said one word to each other, and it's just giving me the heebies, and I think this is it for us. Maybe we could have gotten through it. I don't know. But it's one thing, like I said, it's a blessing and a curse. Oh my God. Okay, I'll tell you another story. So I've gone to, like, Robbie's had 6 shows. I've gone to 2, and then they're doing their live show, her and Rachie time, Too Far Pod. And I'll go to that. So I'm like pretty much half. Sometime I think, I went to see a play one night. I went to see Cabaret. It was so good. And it's like, Europe is obviously so much more progressive. There was like, a gay storyline, a bisexual storyline, an abortion, a Jewish person, Black people, like interracial. They just covered everything, but it didn't feel like so in your face, like the reboot of Sex in the City. It felt just like normal and natural, because even walking around, it's like there's just so much more interracial couples, I feel, here. And it's just so diverse compared to any other city, I feel like, in North America. I think Toronto is the most diverse in North America, but definitely London has them beat. Well, plus there's just so many people. But yeah, it's just like, so it's kind of normalized. And it's just really great to see and refreshing. And I'm like, Cabaret is what Poor Things wish they could be, because they had like an infantilized, perverted storyline, but she was in on it. She was like pointing out how fucked up it was, which Poor Things never did. But anyways, it was really so good. Everyone was so talented. I'm like, if I was a dancer, which, I was a cheerleader, which I think was perfect for me. But if I really wanted to follow my dreams, I feel like I would try and go to the West End. But they sing and they dance and they act, and they're just like true artists. I looked them all up on Instagram. So I did that one night. I'll take myself out to dinner. I'm doing this. So I didn't go to every show, but the last show that I went to, this guy came up to me and he was like, I'm a huge fan. I'm like, oh my God, I love to hear it. I never get sick of hearing it. Thank God. You never know, like, when it's going away. My coach of the Broncos actually like shed some real wisdom on us when it was like back when we would sign autographs and stuff, and people would want our signature, and she's like, never say no to that or a picture, because you never know when someone's not going to want your signature anymore. Like, it's not going to happen forever. And that just really stuck with me. So it's like, I'm always like, do you want to take a picture? And he was like, oh yeah, definitely. He was like, no, I'm such a big fan. I watched it every week, me and my grandma. I was like, oh my God, shout out to Grams. Thank you so much. I love my geriatric demographic, transcends generations, me. And he was like, yeah, I applied to be on your season. And I was like, oh my God, no way. no worries, look how it turned out. I'm a lesbian now. You didn't miss out on anything. Just trying to make light of it. And he was like with this girl, and I obviously, thought they were friends. And he was like, we canceled our flight. We're going to Dublin so we could be here for Robbie's show to meet you. And I was like, oh my God, thank God I was here. Like, just like keeping the conversation moving, because I haven't came to all the shows. I'm so glad that I got to meet you. And I'm like, making a joke. I'm like, oh my God, so you applied for The Bachelor for me? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, what? And then we like go our separate ways. Robbie and I are like, we go outside for a little bit, come back. And he was like, oh my God, our picture was blurry. And then he starts going, babe. I'm like, okay, this girl is his girlfriend who he's asking, take pictures of me and him. And she had out the digital camera this time, so you knew he wanted a really good picture. Just like making his girlfriend change their flights and taking pictures of him and I. You could say his long lost love. I was like, this is so crazy. But also I'm here for it. I'll take literally any fan. Plus his girlfriend was so cool and like so just like chill about it, and was like so down to take pics of him. I'm like, this is a real one. And we kind of had the same color, same hair color. So I feel like he like got what he was looking for. But at the time, like all of this was being uncovered IRL, and I didn't know that was his girlfriend until the very end when he made her come back with the digital. I was like, the fuck? Damn, she should at least get in a picture with us. We should have somebody else take it. If Robbie was like dying to take a picture with a girl, I'd be like, I don't know. I just don't think so. But maybe if it's a celebrity crush, but I'll go as far to say that I'm her celebrity crush and she likes Hailey Bieber, and that's already been causing some resentment. But I would do it because she's like funny. Whenever my like cheerleader friends come in town, she like loves to take pictures with them. She's like, babe, give me with the Broncos. I'm like, okay. So it's like a bit, and it's fine because like she's like a tiny lesbian. But he was like, Robbie was like, he's gay. I'm like, babe, he could just be a really big fan of The Bachelor and of mine. And like, I need them. I'll take them. I'm going to hold on to him. So I do think that's about it for now. Like I said, we're going to Amsterdam. We got some coffee shop recommendations, and we're staying at this really cute hotel that I'm excited about. And we're going to try and go to the Anne Frank house, to the Van Gogh Museum, and then we come back for one more night, and then we head home. And honestly, I'm always like, every place that we go, I'm like, I don't know if I'd need to come back here. I say that like probably when I'm feeling homesick or something. I do feel like we've seen London. We've gone to every neighborhood, West End, Covent Garden, Soho, Shoreditch, went to Notting Hill today. Those are just the ones that I know off the top of my head. So I feel like, it's like maybe if I could come back in summer, but I don't know if I'd go out of my way. It is a great city though, and such good food. I do love Paris. It's so romantic. So I'd go back to Paris, but yeah, I think we saw. I could change my mind in literally 5 seconds. So I'm sure if I got the opportunity to come back, I would, but I don't know if I'd ever like go out of my way just for a vacation. You know what I mean? But it's like, I wouldn't do that for any city really. I need to be on a beach. Like I've been begging, screaming, needing a trip to Cabo just for the vitamin D and like to literally sit and do nothing. Like that's my kind of vacation. This is the kind that it's like, okay, you need a vacation from your vacation because we're doing so much. But with that being said, I am really excited about Amsterdam, and it's like nice that we get to fit in another little trip. But it's like, do we need to? No. But with the weather being, I guess, so gloomy and stuff, like what, it's not like we can like go to a beach and just relax. So we might as well get high. And then I think that's it. So thank you guys for another episode. Tell me what you think, but be kind. I already know a lot of what you're going to say. You know what? Yeah, you don't even have to be kind, but just know that nothing really, I don't know. It just comes with the territory. And I'll see you next time on Long Winded.